in a quiet rural village, surrounded by fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. Life moved with the rhythm of the seasons. The sun rose, the people worked, and when night came, fear walked among them, because this was no ordinary village. It was a place where unseen forces ruled, where jealousy had power, and where curses could shape destiny. Yet, in the middle of this fear, there lived a couple who were different. Ando and his wife, Amina. They were not the richest, but their hands were blessed. Their crops grew tall, their harvests were full, and their hearts were kind. When others had nothing, they gave. When others were hungry, they shared. And slowly, the entire village began to depend on them. But kindness as a way of awakening something dangerous. Jealousy. One season, the rains came late, the soil hardened, the crops failed. And in one corner of the village, a woman watched her children go hungry. She was not just any woman. She was one of the witches who ruled in the shadows. Her name was Nyoka. Driven by desperation, she walked to Ando and Amina's home. Her eyes were tired, her body weak. She asked for food. And for a moment, everything was silent. Then Amina spoke. Not with cruelty, but with wisdom. Food would help for a day, maybe a week. But work could feed her for a lifetime. So they offered her a chance to work and earn grain. But Nyoka did not hear kindness. She heard rejection. Her face hardened, her eyes darkened. And in that moment, something shifted. That night, deep in the forest, beneath flickering firelight, the witches gathered. Nyoka stood before them, filled with anger. She spoke of humiliation, of pride wounded. And the others listened. Then their leader stepped forward. Her presence was heavy, her voice cold. She raised her hands, and the air itself seemed to tremble. They would not attack the couple's wealth. They would not touch their land. They would strike at something deeper, something more painful. The womb. From that night on, Amina would conceive, but never carry life to birth. Hope would come, and then be taken away, again and again and again. Seasons passed. Joy turned into sorrow. Expectations turned into grief. Each time she believed, each time she dreamed, each time she prepared, the pain returned. Ando watched, helpless, silent, breaking inside. And still, Amina remained kind. Even in her pain, she cared for the children of the village. She laughed with them, fed them, held them, as if they were her own. But at night, when the world was quiet, she cried. And slowly, hope began to fade. Because in this village, darkness always seemed to win. But the story was not over. Pain has a way of becoming familiar. What once breaks you eventually becomes part of you. And for Amina, loss became her shadow, time after time. She carried life, and time after time, she lost it. The village began to whisper. Some said it was fate, others said it was a curse, but no one dared speak the truth out loud, because fear still ruled. One day, an elder healer came. She watched Amina carefully, listened to her story, felt the weight of something unseen. And then, the healer spoke. If she continues trying to conceive, she might not survive. That day, a decision was made. They would stop trying. And just like that, a dream died. But even in her brokenness, Amina did something unexpected. She gave more love, not less. She became a mother to every child in the village. And the children loved her. They ran to her, laughed with her, trusted her. But there was one thing she could not hide: the emptiness. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. The sun stood high in the sky, the air was still, and Ando sat outside his home, watching the road. Then he saw them, 3 men walking slowly from far away. They were different, their garments long, flowing to their ankles, their bodies strong, each one holding a staff. They looked tired, hungry, thirsty. But there was something else, something unexplainable. They did not look like men who simply walked from one place to another. They looked like men on a mission. And as they drew closer, Ando felt it. This moment was not ordinary. Kindness is a choice, especially when you do not understand what stands before you. Ando watched the 3 men, and something inside him hesitated. But Amina felt something different: compassion. So they called them in, gave them water, a place to rest. And while they sat, Amina prepared food. Not just any food, a meal of honor. She slaughtered a chicken, cooked with care, served with respect. The men ate, drank, restored their strength. And when they were ready to leave, Amina packed food for their journey, water for the road. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the men spoke. He did not speak loudly, but his words carried weight. Because of your kindness, you will not remain the same. By this time next year, you shall have a child, and no power of darkness will prevail against him. The words settled like truth, unshaken, unbreakable. Then they turned and walked away. But they were not alone. From the branches above, something watched them. A bird, bright, colorful, still. And as the sun began to set, it moved. The bird transformed. Feathers became flesh, wings became arms. Nyoka stood before them. Her anger, alive. Her presence, dangerous. She challenged them, demanded answers, declared her dominance. But the men did not move. They spoke calmly, firmly. They were not afraid. And when she attacked, everything changed. Power shot from her hand, fast, deadly. But it did not reach them. It returned, striking her instead. She fell, shaken, defeated. In that moment, but not finished, she warned them they would not leave alive. Still, the men continued walking toward the river, the place no one dared go, the place where darkness lived. And as night approached, the air changed. Sounds echoed, creatures stirred, fear grew. And then they appeared. More witches, many, waiting, prepared. This was the moment, the place where fear had ruled for generations. The witches surrounded them, confident, powerful, certain of victory. They attacked, energy, fire, shadows. But nothing worked. Every force returned. Every attack failed. The balance had shifted. Then the 3 men acted. They raised their staffs, and light exploded into the darkness. The witches fell. For the first time, they felt fear. But it was not over. The men walked forward, Into the river. Water rose, thunder roared, the sky opened. And the river came alive, a force greater than anything before. It pulled, consumed, destroyed, and one by one, the witches were taken, until there was silence, complete silence. The storm stopped, the water calmed, and just like that, the darkness was gone. Back in the village, Amina stood still. She felt something different. She placed her hand on her stomach, and for the first time in years, there was no fear, only peace, because when light speaks, darkness must listen.